So many ideas, so few moments. Deciding whose memoir story to write landed with the choice of her mother, who was raised in Cape Breton. Grandchildren, family, and friends expect to share time with her love of music and dancing. As special events coordinator, she is passionate about the Kingston School of Art and the fundraiser Victorian Tea and Art Grab on Sunday, June the 10th. Also, a shameless plug.
Sorry, I had to do it.
On Sunday, June the 10th, Victorian Tea and Art Grab on Sunday, June the 10th.
Sorry, I just had to do that. Also, I've been told I forget to talk about what I do, and I do have an art show right now at Spearhead Brewery of 7 abandoned buildings, farms, and barns in our locale. I have done poetry for many decades, but it was through the encouragement of your course that I got brave enough to write a few pages. So thank you. Now, before I start, I did notice that we have a person who has red hair. And if you could make your way and just hang out over there. And you have to picture my 90-year-old mother telling me this story a month ago, so I had to go back in and add it to my memoir. So I'll wave to you, and you'll be Chrissy, and I'll be my mother. Okay. So the story is in the north end of Sydney, Cape Breton. My mother being about 12. Tatting and crocheting came easily to mother. Learning these crafts really helped the family out. Even Mr. Mendelbaum took note of the crocheted edge of mother's apron pocket and commissioned her to sew 6 at first to see if the aprons would sell in his store. Sewn from the backs of elbow-worn plaid men's shirts, mother saved each and every piece of fabric that came into the house. One of Bab's responsibilities was teaching Sheila, only 3 years younger, how to iron Papa's cotton hankies, just as Addie had taught her, preferring ironing to Jackson's duty of cutting up what seemed like ancient bath towels into rags for shoe shining, cleaning, and oil changes. Sheila couldn't wait to grow up so she could take her turn at one of Bab's jobs, that of cutting buttons off spoiled or tired clothing. Never a need to spend money replacing a lost one. Big brother Jackson would get a telling to for grabbing the glass mason jar and watching its colorful buttons spin inside, roll down the uneven pine floors, hitting chair legs as it merrily took its journey through the dining room and along into the living room, finally settling under Papa's chair. Everyone pitched in for necessary errands, with or without a little compensation, but mother chose Babs this time. Feeling happy with 5 cents in her pocket, Babs ran out of her Ferry Street home, knowing she was too mature by now to skip the short distance down to the corner store on Havelock Street. So instead, she just strolled and hummed the tune, A Tisket, a Tasket. Feeling a little silly and not understanding how 1 minute she felt like a skipping kid, and then in a flash followed by a more mature moment of longing to go dancing as Addie did at the Lyceum or Venetian Gardens. 2 more years of growing, then by age 14, Babs would ask her mother to sew her a cotton A-line dress, perfect for twirling. And trusted to deliver the pile of newly sewn aprons with pink ribbon ties flying in the wind, Babs enjoyed a few solitary minutes and dreamed of the mouth-watering penny candy awaiting her. Deciding whether to buy Mr. Mandelbaum's fresh-baked bagel, honeymoons, maple buds, or nigger babies. Yes, that was the language of the day then. was a challenge. But when she did, the little brown bag would remain hers. Fresh herring was being refilled into the large wooden barrel on the oak floor beside the large steel cash register, and a salty smell permeated the air. Babs just loved the smell of fish, and its pungent aroma brought her sweet memories of rare experiences at Sydney Pier fishing with her papa. Besides, space beside the notions and pattern shelf were made, and the garments caught the eye of a customer right away. Mrs. Adore turned and asked Babs if that was, and confirmed that that was her mother's aprons from Sadie's hands. Quality evidenced by pristine sewing. Quality was never a concern for Mother, whether she was sewing a garment like a suit for Jacket or frivolous everyday aprons. Proud feelings welled up in Babs when this woman marveled at how Mother sewed without a pattern, saving 25 to 60 cents for simplicity to vogue. Tell your mother I'll come for a cup of tea and arrange a bridge date the next time PJ is off the swing shift or not in a stupor. He's one man I don't want to disturb. Good day. Babs pondered the word stupor and was thinking about visiting Grandma Morley and her yellow canary little chickie, figuring it would take her about 20 minutes to walk the opposite end of Sydney to Gritton Avenue in the south. Thoughts of Grandma's potato soup with cream, not just broth, were calling her, and warm, fresh baked Sad Archie molasses cookies. While she rounded the corner and caught sight half a block away from her grave, the surly one, sometimes even quiet, despite her bushy red hair, Babs stopped walking. Chrissy ceased walking. The stare down began with hands on hips. It felt like the world had stopped during a bad Western movie. Even the sparrows knew how to end chirping on cue. Chrissy took off as a sprinter at track and field and chased Babs in a vigorous spirit. Finally, Babs decided to stop. She made Chris turn around, and she chased her. And she chased her, and they stopped. Thank you. She stopped on a dime, and they sensed each other's girlish humor and began to laugh uncontrollably, almost wetting their pants. When easy breath returned, the two girls began chatting and made a plan to meet at recess on Monday, and that is how their lovely friendship began.
Well, you got some real drama in that one. There are a couple of people who did not sign this list, and I wonder, is a couple of people missing who had volunteered to read this evening? If there's anyone here who signed.